Gen Invaders, it's me Jordan here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now Gen Invaders, if you're in the DC TV/CW show loop, you know that a brand new TV show called DC Stargirl premiered on May 18th, I think, on the DC Universe, and then 2 days after on the CW. We're now 3 episodes into Season 1, and I've got so much to say about this show because I'm so invested into the characters, into the story, everything that comes along with this show, and so I knew that I just had to make a review for this. I probably should have waited until the first season's over, you know, just to give my overall thoughts on the season, because I'm not going to do it after every single episode, and it feels weird just to do it after 3 episodes, but I couldn't wait any longer, so I had to make a review for the first 3 episodes of Stargirl. So if you've seen my reviews before, you know how it works is I break it down to the things that I absolutely love about the show, the things that were alright, I didn't think they were amazing, but I didn't think they were bad, and then the final part is the things that I just did not like at all about the show. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into my review for the first 3 episodes of Season 1 of DC Stargirl by Geoff Johns. Here we go. Alright, and kicking off the list of the good stuff about this show, and there's actually a lot of things in this kind of category because there's a lot of good things about this show. So the first thing on this list is the brilliant casting of Brec Bassinger as Stargirl. Despite almost being, I think, 22, Brec somehow manages to like both look and sound the part, which is a 15-year-old, as well as, you know, capture the energetic and charismatic youth person that age should portray. She does so very, very well. Obviously, you know, she's not the most renowned actor in the world, but she plays the part and embodies it very, very well, and I think it was a great casting on the show's behalf. The show also has a wonderful family dynamic and, you know, coming of age theme to it. I love the storyline of a new stepfather and brother, who's actually very, very funny. I love the storyline of them coming into the fold, and, you know, the move to Blue Valley, and, you know, Courtney having to learn how to adapt into this new environment, all of which I find to be very, very enjoyable and interesting to watch. Yeah, as I said before, his brother is just a very funny character. I love his one-liners that he has very often. They're really, really good.
Damn it.
Mike, language.
What do you want me to say?
Dang it, darn it.
How about a golly gee? Is that too strong?
That's perfect.
And so, yeah, I really like that whole dynamic to the show. I also really love the fantastic father-daughter relationship between Courtney and Pat, who I think Luke is a great casting for Pat Dugan. It creates a great dynamic between the two, you know, with Courtney having to learn to be more lenient towards her new father, and, you know, accepting him, and Pat having to learn to go more easy on her, you know, and not just try and force a relationship instantly, you know, it has to come naturally. And I think that entire relationship is just very, very, like, enjoyable for me to watch. I really love it a lot. Now, speaking of the theme of family, the show also balances, you know, being a superhero show and many other storylines with other characters, many other themes, as I said, coming of age, and all these different themes and storylines, including Courtney at high school and, you know, Pat working in the garage, and then Courtney's mum at the work, and, you know, trying to fit in with Icicle as the boss and stuff like that. And I thought all of that is just perfectly balanced, like all the storylines. I'm assuming they're all going to blend in together at the end, so I really look forward to seeing how that comes out, but at the moment I'm really loving how they balance all the storylines within the episodes. I also really love the whole DC Comics lore behind the show, and it helps that DC legend Geoff Johns is at the helm of the show, as we get to see many, many DC characters, both in the Justice Society and the Injustice Society, including Wildcat, Dr. Midnight, Hourman. We also get to see like many Easter eggs and teasers, like the Jay Garrick helmet and the owl and stuff, which I just love so much. I love the little Easter eggs that they put in for comic fans, and even though I'm not that big of a diehard comic reader, I still like to see the different Easter eggs and stuff and hints towards, you know, the comics and stuff. So I think that that's really, really cool. And, you know, seeing the Justice Society headquarters in episode 3 was also really cool. And I'm very intrigued to see the new generation of the society with Yolanda, I think her name was, Beth, and all the others going forward, as well as like certain items like the pink pen and like the Jake Garrick helmet and Dr. Midnight and stuff, and, you know, the things that Courtney picked up. And I think that's really, really intriguing, and I'm so excited to see where that goes in the next couple episodes and the rest of the season, and maybe even beyond if season 2 gets picked up. Who knows? Similar to the theme of, you know, the Justice Society, Injustice Society, I love the villain within the first 2 episodes of Brainwave, portrayed by Christopher James Baker, who also was a fellow Australian. He was so creepy and portrayed him in such a grounding and chilling way. However, I believe he was defeated a bit too easily, and I really hope he does not end up dying. If he does, however, I wonder if his son Harry Jr. will take up the mantle of Brainwave. So I guess that's something to think about. And Icicle, the villain of the 3rd episode and probably beyond, in my opinion, isn't really as dark as people are saying. People are saying it's one of the darkest villains in the Arrowverse yet, and the show got really dark real quick, and I'm like, I don't see that. Obviously, the backstory was very, very tragic, and, the brutal murders of Joey and, William, which are very, very shocking at the time. I just didn't think it was that dark. But I did love the deaths. That was shocking, and the backstory and everything. So, yeah. And I look forward to see more of Jordan. Great name, by the way. Going forward. I also really love the cinematography of this show. It's just absolutely breathtaking. The quality is so good. It is literally up to movie standards. I'm absolutely shocked about what they were able to pull off. The stunt choreography, they have these weird zooms in some fight scenes, and that was just a bit weird. But for the most part, the stunt choreography was very, very well done. And the CGI, particularly on the staff, was amazing. It really helps that the show's not on the CW instead of the DC Universe. Well, it's on both, but it's first and foremost the DC Universe show. And I just love that they were able to, pull off things that we've never seen before in a CW show. Because they only get, I think, a $1 to $2 million budget an episode. So it was really, really good to see, better CGI. Not saying the CGI is, the main defining factor of a show, but obviously if you see great CGI, that's a bonus, and cinematography and stuff like that. Now, lastly in this section, what I want to talk about is not necessarily about the actual show, but in regards to the origin of the character. This isn't really, a review of it. It's just something I really wanted to mention here because it's just so sweet and it's worth talking about. So, as many of you guys most likely know, the producer / showrunner of the show, Geoff Johns, who I've spoken about earlier, created this character of Stargirl in the comics, inspired and named after his sister who tragically passed away. Geoff was writing comics already for a very long time, but this was his first original character after her passing, and he even dedicated the show to her by having her picture on set all the time and photoshopping a photo of Brec and Courtney together, which you can see on the screen right now in the pilot when she's moving away. And when I found all this out, I was actually quite emotional, and I felt it very, very moving. The backstory and motivation of the character is truly it's amazing. I found it so sweet. It must have been very, very big shoes for Brec to fill. I didn't know Courtney in real life, but I think that Brec just portrays this character so well, and Geoff seems to be very, very happy with it. And so I'm really, really happy with, the casting and all that sort of stuff. I just think it was a great, very sweet story that came along with the show. So, yeah, that's something I just really want to talk about. Now, let's move on to the mixed stuff about this show, which is the things that I didn't hate, but the things that I didn't love either. They're just meh. So, let's get started with the mixed stuff. Now, I've seen a lot of people on social media, praising this aspect, and I can't say I agree. A lot of people have absolutely loved the soundtrack and score of the show, which, while I think it wasn't that bad, I certainly think it wasn't amazing. And the composer, Pina Tupac, I think her name is, I think her score is just not, it's not amazing. It's certainly not bad, though, as I just said, but just nothing particularly stood out to me in the show. I get maybe the pop culture songs that they play in the background and stuff, but obviously I don't know them because of my age and stuff, probably. I'm not so sure about why people love this, but I don't. Even the Stargirl theme, it just sounds very generic, in my opinion. Watch this clip and listen to the music and you'll see what I mean.
Stargirl. And that's my sidekick.
Also, I think that the costumes and suit are very hit and miss for me. While all of them are very comic book accurate, all the Justice Society costumes, Stargirl and Wildcat and everything are very, very comic book accurate. Some, in my opinion, look really, really good, but others look very, very cheap and cheaply made. For example, both Stargirl and S.T.R.I.P.E.'s armor, they're both amazing. The CGI on S.T.R.I.P.E.'s armor is awesome, the design, everything. I love those two costumes. Whereas Hourman's cape just looks like cheap cosplay. The body looks very, very well done, but I don't know what material the cape was made of. It just, in my opinion, certain things look a bit cheesy in my opinion. So that's why it's in the mixed category, as they're very hit and miss. Some I love, but some I'm just like, really, you could have done a little bit better. But anyway. Now this is just a minor complaint. Obviously, I know that it's a superhero show. I really shouldn't be looking too far deep into this, but I find Stargirl to be way too coincidental and more character-driven per se than the plot. Obviously, it's a very basic plot. Just find the Injustice Society people and just kill them, or not kill them, but serve justice for supposedly Stargirl's father, which is Starman. Like, no way all the villains still live in Blue Valley. And, you know, Courtney and also the son of Icicle and Brainwave, they all go to the same school. I mean, obviously, unless it's a very, very small town, which is the portrayed it to be. I just something about them still living there and all the sons still going to the same school and, you know, interacting with each other. It just seems way too coincidental. You know, even the boss of Courtney's mother is also an Injustice Society member. You know, and also Icicle's also like the CEO of the company, I'm not sure. It's just way too coincidental. So, I mean, obviously, I need to stop thinking too deep into this because obviously it's a superhero show and a lot of these things in superhero shows are coincidental, so I need to stop thinking about this. But if I am to review it, I've got to give my honest thoughts, and so that can be a little bit distracting while watching this show, that it's very coincidental. But that's all I've got in the mixed category, so let's move on to the bad things, and there's only about 2 things in this category, so let's get to it. Now, the 2 things that are in this category have absolutely nothing to do with the quality of the show. I think the quality of the show is up to a very high standard. Episode 3 wasn't as good as the first 2, in my opinion. But the quality of the show, nothing about this is absolutely terrible. But this is in regards to how the show is scheduled and programmed. So the first thing is that, you know, 48 hours after it airs on the DC Universe, it airs on the CW. Meaning, despite it being an exclusive to the DC Universe, it can easily be spoiled, you know, to people watching on the CW. Like, is the DC Universe even necessary anymore? Like, I think Harley Quinn's on Sci-Fi, Doom Patrol on HBO Max soon, or is it already on there? Titans on Netflix, at least in Australia. Stargirl and Swamp Thing on CW. Like, is it even necessary anymore? Like, why is this still a thing? I mean, comics, yes, I understand that, but anyway, the second thing in this category is that when it aired on CW, it cut over 12 minutes of footage for advertisement breaks. Like, luckily, I watched the DCU version, so in case you were wondering, so I'm basing this off the full version, but it makes sense why CW did this, but, like, the average viewer would be very confused about what was going on because they missed a massive chunk of the episode. However, apparently Geoff Johns said, except, you know, short scenes every now and then, this will not be the same going forward. I think episode 3 was even 44 minutes, which is very close to the 42 minutes of a CW episode. So, yeah, I guess that's good. I just have a problem with how the show's scheduled, and not in regards to the actual show itself, because the show's actually really, really good. Which leads me to my overall thoughts on the first 3 episodes of Stargirl Season 1. So, in conclusion, Stargirl is a fantastic show. It has a very, very strong cast, great characters and great dynamics and great tones, all balanced very, very well. The production quality is up to a very high standard. It has phenomenal CGI, the cinematography and stunt choreography. As I said, the costumes are very hit and miss, in my opinion. The inspiration is just very, very moving. And I love the whole DC mythos behind it, with Geoff Johns at the head. And as I said, obviously, Luke Wilson and Brec Bassinger as the leads of the show. They just absolutely do a great job. So, overall, I'm going to give the first 3 episodes of Stargirl and an 8.7 out of 10. And I very much look forward to seeing more of this show going forward. It has so much potential. Please don't let me down, Geoff Johns. And if you love the DC Comics lore, this show is very much based off the comics, so you definitely love this show. Or if you just like superhero TV shows in general, this is definitely for you. It's got a very, very positive response from the public and critics and everything. And I'm so glad because it's what it deserves. So yeah, that's my review of the first 3 episodes of Stargirl Season 1. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really, really hope you guys enjoy it. So obviously, if you don't like my reviews, I think I'll have one for Tenet and Wonder Woman, and then I probably won't have one all the way through to November. So yeah, you're in luck, I guess. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you guys know when I upload a video. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. My name is Jordan, and I am out. Bye.